View of the two temples. Have you seen the high dam at Aswan? You see the high dam or not yet?
No, not yet.
There's a very huge dam in the Nile at Aswan. It's called the high dam. Before building that dam, the two temples used to be down in the valley. And you had to run. The two temples used to be like this before building the dam. Big temples, mama. They were cut into the mountains. They are now at the top of the same mountain. Because Lake Nasser is up here. After building the high dam at Aswan, the water stopped creating the biggest man-made lake, Lake Nasser. It's 500 kilometers long, 350 kilometers inside Egypt, and 150 kilometers inside Sudan. It was thus that Egypt turned to UNESCO. Do you know UNESCO?
Yes.
For cooperation and financial assistance. The campaign of UNESCO for saving the size of this area from Abu Simbal to Aswan took 20 years because we had 14 temples. They chose 10 temples to be saved, the most important ones. They are now between Philae Temple at Aswan and Abu Simbel here. Have you seen Philae? Or not yet?
No,
This is the beginning, this is the first time. To start the campaign of UNESCO came the rescue of Abu Simbel temples. The two temples here were moved between 1964 and 1968. First, they had taken away all the rocks to shore above the temple over here by using heavy machines like bulldozers. Then they cut the outside and the interior into blocks. This is the outside of that temple. It used to be like this. The blocks were between 7 and 30 tons. You see when they let the blocks by cranes. Each block was then given a number, direction, and then stored on a platform till this side was moved for constructing the blocks once again. They reconstruct the blocks once again by using steel bars and resin in between. But after they had finished the reconstruction of the walls and the ceiling of the temple up here, the temple looked as if it was built. But the temple originally was cut into the mountain. That's why they built a concrete dome over the temple, this dome, to build that fake mountain.
Okay.
That's a hollow mountain. It is a trick like Disneyland.
The hollow mountain.
Hollow, yes,
Okay.
fake. The temple itself is huge, just 10 meters. The dome is 27.
Okay.
There are 17 meters hollow in between.
Okay.
The construction cost $36 million. US dollars paid by Egypt, USA, and UNESCO.
Okay.
The two temples here were built by Ramesses II, the third king of the 19th dynasty from the New Kingdom. He ruled Egypt for about 67 years and was about 97 years old when he died. Why did Ramses build this huge temple away from Luxor, the capital of Egypt? Because he wanted to be a god during his life, and that was unusual. The ancient Egyptians considered the king as a semi-god, as a half-god during his life, and would be a god after his death, but Ramses was in a hurry. He wanted to be a god during his life. He couldn't do that at Luxor, because the god of Luxor was Amun-Ra, king of gods, and his priests were very powerful. That's why he came here to the south. And to be acceptable by the people and the priests as a god, he said, I'm a god besides the main gods. God Amun, God Ra, and God Ptah. So you see here for the first time a temple was dedicated to 4 gods, not 1 or 2 as usual. You see inside Amun, Ra, Ptah, and Ramesses himself.
Okay.
The facade here is 33 meters high, decorated with 4 colossal statues that represent Ramesses, all in different ages. Left to right when he was young till he became older. Each statue is 20 meters high. Second one, broken one, was fallen down in an earthquake in 27 BC, more than 2,040 years ago.
It's not fixed again.
No, because the face is
Even
gone. No,
established.
because no face. We have only blocks of the ground for him. It is forbidden to change.
Okay, 20th century is back. It's some
27 before
27.
Christ, meaning
Okay.
about 2,050 years ago.
2050.
Yes. Little ones around the legs of the king represent members of the royal family. Little ones on the right of the door are the same on the left. From right, his daughter Bennett Innet, his daughter Niptawi, unknown daughter, his mother Toya, his eldest son Kaim Waset, and Nefertari twice, his beloved wife and to whom the smart temple was dedicated. That one above the door for Rah or Akhti, god of the rising sun, is always depicted with the falcon head carrying the sun disk above his head. He's a form of the sun god Ra. He's the sun god as the sun rises. So he's the god of the rising sun. The falcon god Horus, you know Horus? Falcon god associated with sun god Ra, making this one, Rah or Akhti. So once him without sun disk, it would be Horus, the falcon god. With both, it is Rah or Akhti, god of the rising sun. On both sides of him, Rams offers to him. At the top, you see a row of 22 baboons, monkeys. The ancient Egyptians considered the baboon as a sacred animal because the notice that the baboon was the first animal to wake up early. to celebrate the sunrise by making sound and dancing. The ancient Egyptians believed that the baboons like that, they were praying to the sun god Ra. That's why they connected that animal to the god of wisdom. Have you seen the Valley of the Kings?
Yes.
It's cut out of the rocks like this. The temple is completely cut out of the rocks. No ventilations inside. The temple inside like this. It has 3 main halls. First one was open for the public as usual. You're going to see 8 statues, 4 on each side for Ramesses. They all him. He liked himself so much. Very early selfies, stone selfies. The only difference is the crown. On the north, he's wearing double crown, red and white, of Upper and Lower Egypt. On the south, he's wearing the white one of the south, for this temple was built here in the south. You know the crowns of Egypt had red crown for north, white crown for south, and double one for both Upper and Lower Egypt. Ramesses here considered himself as a god gradually. First, he wanted to reflect his power in front of the public, because the common people cared about the strength of the king. So scenes you're going to see here are fighting scenes, war scenes, depicting Ramesses as a great fighter. On the south to the left, you will see 3 scenes from 3 different battles. First scene from east, from Syria. Ramesses conducted many campaigns, but the most important one was the Battle of Kadesh in Syria. This one. Ramesses here shooting arrows against the Hittite fortress in Syria. Look at him. He has 2 arms, 2 crowns. Everything is double. In that battle, Ramesses informed us that he asked God Amun for help. So he wants to tell us, look at me, I'm not alone, God Amun is with me. It is a step to be a god in the Holy of the Holies. Next scene, Ramesses here is fighting 2 Libyans, him is trampling on one fallen enemy and thrusting his spear into another. So first scene from east, from Syria, second one from west, Libya. The third and last scene from Nubia south. How do you know that come from Nubia as a lion? Egypt had no lions. And the prisoners are Nubians with dark skin. That means that Ramesses had defeated all his enemies east, west, and south. Above the north wall to the right, we're going to see more details of the same battle, Battle of Kadesh. We're going to panorama of Kadesh. This is a field of follows the Egyptian armies attacking the Hittite army. It is so easy to recognize the Egyptians. Once you see no one is killed and no one is falling down, they are the Egyptians. When the enemies are killed. Early propaganda still helped us. In the middle of the Egyptian camp, in which you can see the counts before Ramesses here gives order to the Egyptian officers. You see, it's very huge comparing with the soldiers and the officers. At the end of the war, Sam is sitting with the back of the chariot up here, counting the prisoners of war and the killed ones. The prisoners are in 3 lines, and these are 3 piles of organs of the killed ones. The first hall has side rooms. You will find 6 side rooms behind the statues, 4 on the right and 2 on the left. They all used for storage, to keep offerings and sacrifices. So the scenes there are offerings. Since the present Ramesses all the time kneeling or standing for different gods. The second hall is of a smaller dimension than the first one. It was open for the priests. So since are offerings, since you're going to see this scene twice, Ramesses here is burning incense in front of the holy boat of God Ra.
Can we go inside?
Yeah, we'll go inside, yes.
Yeah.
And the boat is carried on the shoulders of the priests. It is a symbolic scene. The ancient Egyptians believed that the god used to pay a visit to this temple every morning at the sunrise by his boat. On the right side of the second door, you're gonna see Ramesses as a king offers to himself as a god. Ramesses here offers to God of fertility, himself as a god, and God is Isis. So King Ramses for God Ramesses. You see him as a god is always holding this sign Ankh, or Ankh in hieroglyphs means life. It looks like a key. We call it key of life. This sign was for the gods, because the god was the only one who can give life. So once anybody is holding Ankh in his attitude, that means that he's a god. Behind him, God is Isis, who's holding Ankh as well. The most important part here is the Holy of the Holies at the end. It is the smallest part inside this temple, but was the most important one. It was open for the high priest and the king himself. You will see an exterior wall for figures represent 4 gods, including Ramesses, from my son God Ra. Ramesses himself as a god is equal to the gods. Amun, king of gods, and Pitah, god of darkness. When the sun comes here, sun enters this hall twice a year. Only twice a year. Before moving the temple used between October 21st and February 21st. As the sun rises, sun penetrates through the doors, through here to the end, to light the 3 statues to the right for 24 minutes. And it never touches the 4th one, Pitah. Do you know why? God of darkness. That's why they had calculated very well to prevent sunshine from touching him, because space here, and here space here is bigger, wider. They kept him away to be in the shadow. They were very clever, because everything was cut into the mountain, they couldn't remove them. This is why we call that phenomenon the miracle of sun. And those days represent the birthday and the coronation day of Ramesses. But after moving the temple, they missed it. It happens now on October 22nd and February 22nd.
Oh.
Because the temple was moved below up 64 meters and 200 meters back. The ancient Egyptians were more clever than us. UNESCO had to wait for 1 year, waiting sunrise to come twice to adjust the orientation, and when they construct the blocks, they started with the statues to figure out, but then succeed because the angle changed, so they missed by 1 day. So about this temple, let me take a family pictures here.
Yes.